Hi, and welcome to this SWIPEBY demo. In this demo, we will go over how the SWIPEBY merchant backend works, the web app, where you can change your store hours, can upload your menu, change your menu, and so on. We had a previous video where we showed you how to create your SWIPEBY account, and this is now where we talk about how you can actually access your menu, upload your menu, and adjust things. The URL, how you get here, is by account.swipe.by. So if you go to account.swipe.by, you land into this login interface, and each of the locations, each of the restaurants that you created in our sign-up process is now the information that you use to log in here. This is actually the same login information that you are using to log in into the Android tablet that you find at each of your restaurants. We will use from the video which we had before, we use the test SWIPEBY at swipe.by account. We type in the password and we log in. What we are seeing here as the first step, if it's the first time you ever log in, it asks you to create now your first menu. The first menu means something like lunch or dinner, breakfast, or just menu, right? If you just have one key menu. The next step that we are asking is the preparation time. This is the time that we communicate to the customer to let them know when their food will be ready after they're placing an order. So for example, after 20 minutes, if someone places an order, you expect them to be 20 minutes later at your restaurant to pick up their food. You can now, for that particular menu, you can adjust the special time. So if this menu, let's actually call it lunch to be more realistic, the lunch menu, you can adjust the times, right? So let's say your lunch menu is always from 12 p.m. on Fridays, Saturdays, and from Monday to Friday. And then it closes, again, your lunch menu is until 3 p.m. If it would be other times, or if you just have one menu, you can change this and you can always adjust those times. And you could say, for example, you don't serve lunch on Saturday and Sunday because you're closed Sunday, and Saturday you have a weekend menu, for example. You press save, and this is now how the general overview always looks of our backend. You have the option to edit the menu. You have the option to manage your store. You have the option to add a new menu, for example, like lunch, dinner, brunch, customization, deselections, and discount. Let's start with managing your store. If you click on managing your store, you actually get to the interface where you can change the address of your store. Let's say you are actually a food truck. You would go in here and change your address every morning to adjust again where you are, and we geofence and find that location. You can change your state tags, upload a new image like your logo, can change the name, and provide us new contact confirmation. Also, if you know days that you are closed in the future, like holidays or other special days that you are closed, not general stuff, exceptional like Christmas, Easter, for example, or 4th of July, you can enter those dates here and we will automatically take you off the platform on those days. We can save what we have. The next step, which is a little bit out of the ordinary, or is important, is the discounts part. The discounts part is actually a very special feature where you can give random discounts to your customers. What that means is you can choose between 3 time frames. You give us a maximum percentage you are willing to give off. You select the categories on what items, let's say on burgers and on sandwiches, you're willing to give up to 10% off between 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. And what we will now do is our system automatically will find a percentage between 5% and 10% and will every day discount somewhere between 5 and 10 items in these categories for your customers to always find a special deal. It's one of the features that you can use, but certainly don't need to. But it allows you, just to drive customers to your restaurant at off times or at times where you want to incentivize to order certain categories, and it looks like a special deal every day, completely automatic. The next step that I want to go over is the menu categories. So what you are seeing is these are all the different categories that you could use to enter a menu that you can work with. And really important is, though, the first thing that we want to start before we walk in any of these categories, we want to add customization. The customization is one global list that you are creating for all of your menu items. So for example, if you offer an appetizer and it's small and large, if you offer drinks in different sizes, if you offer different sides, if you offer different temperatures for meat, and so on, all of this here goes into one list. Let's make the example. We say you have small is 0, you have a medium, and sometimes the medium costs extra $3. You have a large, and the large cost extra $5. And if you have another medium, because you have another item where the medium price is a little different, you can do that again and say $2, for example. Say you serve meat or burgers, for example, you can say medium, which is right, would be an option that is free. You can say rare, which also would be an option that is free. And you can say well done, also an option that is free. If you have, for example, something like sides, right? We have fries, which can be free. But then if you offer mac and cheese, that might be an upcharge of a side of $2. If you have a salad with different dressings, you can enter here all the different dressing options. If you have add-ons like tomato, which is for free, but then maybe something more expensive like avocado, for which you charge extra for $2, you can add that here. So basically what you're seeing is you're creating a big list of all the customization that could apply to any of your items. And you certainly can go back here anytime and add more customizations. Another list that you're creating globally for your menu is deselections. And this is a list of all the items that can be deselected from any of your dishes. That's, for example, some people don't like cheese, right? So cheese can be deselected. Maybe nuts, someone doesn't like nuts. Quite often onions, if people don't like onions. And you get the insight here, right? You are adding all the different deselections that might need to be deselected from your menu. If we now want to edit the menu, add items, add new items, or adjust items that we have, we click the Edit Menu button. We say Edit Menu, and we now see that we can say Publish or Add New Menu Item. We can also click here on the plus, and we would see all the menu items that we have in a category. If we say Add New Menu Item, we get to the following view. The first thing that we're asking is to upload an image of the food if you have, right? That really helps customers to see what they are getting and generally drive sales. We select the category of that menu items. Let's say that it's just an entree. We can add designations. For example, it's gluten-free and dairy-free. And we give the item name. Let's call this is the burger. We give a description, our world famous burger. Don't mind my spelling here. Our world famous burger, for example, and you could add something, what it comes with, comes with a side. Very simple. The next thing is you can say fixed. Fixed means it's you are fixing the price. Because we currently have the lunch menu, this burger maybe costs $10 at the lunch menu. But if you want if that burger is, for example, $12 for the dinner menu, you don't want to hit fixed. If this burger is the same price for all the different menus you are having, you want to mark this as fixed. If you just have one menu, you can ignore this. The next step is the customizations. And this is where we can now select from the global list of customizations that we created. So if we hit the big plus button here, we can name that customization. For example, we call it temperature. The temperature of the burger, and the min and the max here, he defines the choices that a user has. Does the user needs to choose a minimum of 1 and the maximum of 1, which means in this case, the user will not be able to pass the step until they have made a choice. And in this case, the choice for temperature will be medium, well done, and rare. If the next choice was a burger that is not quite likely, but let's say they can say choose a size, right? So we tell the customer now in the app to choose a size, and we force them to choose exactly one size. So they need to choose one. And in this case, we would have the small, which doesn't cost anything extra. They can get medium, which would cost $3 extra. You might have a different item where medium would be $2 extra only. Or they can have a large burger, which would be $5 extra, right? So what we're doing now, if they select here small, it will stay at the $10. If they add 5, it will be $15. As the next ever customization would be choose your side, right? And if they say they don't need to choose a side, they can choose a size where they don't need to, we can do 0. If they can choose only one side, we would do 1. If we would allow them to choose actually up to 2 sides or 3 sides, or if it comes to additions, we would do a high number here. But let's say again, they can choose up to one side, but don't need to. Our sides options are fries and the mac and cheese. As the next option, we can say any add-ons. So the add-ons in this case are certainly not forced. They can choose, and they can choose up to 2 add-ons, right? They could add tomato, for example, or avocado. Again, tomato at no upcharge, avocado at the $2. So if we summarize this now, what we see is that they see that a customer will see your burger. They first are forced to select one temperature, minimum one, maximum one. Then they are forced to select a size. If they choose, for example, large, we add $5 to the price. Then they need to choose a side. They can choose up to one side, but don't need to choose one. If they select the fries, we don't add anything. If they select the mac and cheese, we add $2. And then they can add an add-on. Again, don't need to choose one, so it's 0, but at maximum, a customer can choose 2. If we would force the customer to choose 2 add-ons, we would write here 2. But again, we don't. As a next, like for example, this burger generally comes with onions, right? We had here our World Fergus Bamer burger with onions. But if a customer doesn't want onions, right, we can allow them now to deselect onions, deselect cheese, right? So with onions and cheese, and they can deselect now these things. So what happens is, when the customer gets to the last step in the app, they can deselect these items, and we send on the order that we send to your restaurant, we notify them exactly what items, we notify your staff what items the customer deselected. Lastly, we can add some categories. So this is a burger, probably count as American. It's an entree. And you can add all the categories that apply to that certain dish. You then press save. What we are seeing now, we added that burger under entrees. Let's say, for example, under entrees, but we thought, oh, there's actually a burger category. So in this case, we can obviously edit again. We can go here in any time. You can select new things. You can change the price. For example, if the current menu price needs to be changed for lunch or dinner, you can change that here. And you can also change the category. So if we now go instead of entrees to burgers, we press burgers, press save, and now that burger is here in the burger category. If we now say publish menu, what you see is there is a 1, so we have one item here, and that burger is published. If you want to edit that burger again, you click edit menu, get to burger, and edit that item. This is how you create one item. If you again need more customizations, you could go to customizations and add more if you need to. If you need more deselections, you can add more if you need to. And so what we're seeing, right, so for example, if we said, well, the add-ons are not only tomato and avocado, but the add-ons can be actually also, let's use onion again here, it's for free. An add-on could be a Swiss cheese, which might be $1 extra. We can add these things, go back to menu, say edit menu, we want to edit that menu, we go to that burger again, and we can go here, and now these items have added, right? So if we went to our choose your add-on category, we now can also apply the onion and the Swiss cheese to all of these things, and we now press save. Again, if we say we want to add another item, let's say we have, a category in a salad, we have the house salad, again, description, our favorite house salad. The salad comes at a $5 cost, and we can customize again, right? So this case, maybe the choice is only between choose your size, and they need to choose a size. The salad can be small or large. And then again, this one has add-ons. And maybe we force them to have add-ons, but in this case, we would say they need to choose at least 2 add-ons, but can choose up to 5. So now the customer is forced to select 2, but go up to 5. And the add-ons can be avocado, Swiss cheese, and fries. It's a wild combination. Can add these selections again and add the filters, for example, salad. Press save, and now that item, if we publish menu, is here under salads, and we can edit menu again and can look at that salad. So what is now if we have the lunch menu and the dinner menu? What we can do now is we can add a new menu. The new menu would be now dinner. Preparation time might be a little longer, 25 minutes. Right, the other menu was from till 2 p.m. So let's say the dinner menu starts at 5 p.m. So we are just entering everywhere here the 5 p.m. And then the dinner time goes until 8, for example. Repack ppm, 8 p.m. And now that menu is active for that time. So it will only be shown to customers during these times. We press save. Now we see the dinner menu here. It's all at 0. We can head edit menu again. We can go to, for example, burger. And here's our burger, but not selected. We can now edit that burger, can say, well, for the dinner menu, this burger is a little more expensive, $12. If, for example, any of these customizations would need to change for dinner, we can certainly do that too. And then we press save. And now that burger is activated for dinner time at a higher price. And we say publish menu. And now we have the lunch and the dinner. If you want to change the times of any of those menus, you can just click here. You see the times. If you see lunch, you see the times here. So this is a really quick overview of how the SWIPEBY backend works, how you edit a menu, which means is you edit that particular menu you are looking at, like for example, dinner, press edit menu, edit. Once you are done, you publish. If you want to add an item, you click add item here. How you manage your store in terms of the general store information that is shown to the public. How you add a new menu like lunch, dinner, brunch, but you can only have one, obviously, that's no problem. Your global list of customizations, so all the customizations that could apply to any item. Your global list of deselections, all the deselections that could apply to any item. And lastly, if you want to utilize our automated discount feature, you can edit that here. Thank you for your time.